Hello. I'm Sally, your host. Welcome to the third board, my master's chess channel. Here I will show you games from great players of the past, and other chess-related content. If you want notifications of more content like this, please subscribe to this channel. Today's video is part 1, of an instructive game, played between Alexander Alekhine and Efim Bogoljubov in 1921, Triberg, Germany. In this game, there are no brilliant sacrifices, but there are unexpected moves from the white player that confused his opponent. If you like small surprises, I think you will like this game. So, let's begin. Alexander Alekhine has white and starts with pawn to d4. Efim Bogoljubov plays knight to f6. And after knight f3, e6, c4, b6, g3, bishop b7. We have on the board the Queen's Indian defense. The game continues with bishop g2, c5, attacking the center. D takes on c5. White has a better position, because of the pressure he exerts on the queen's file. Bishop takes on c5, retaking the pawn, and developing the bishop. According to Alekhine, Black's bishops are not so formidable as they seem to be, because White's king position is completely secure. Back to the game. Castles. Castles. Knight c3, d5. Bogoljubov push his pawn into hell, where the little fellow will be attacked from almost all sides. But he hopes to exchange the pawn later, and after that the game would be equal. According to Alekhine, thanks to this move, White now has the opportunity of unmasking the king's bishop with advantage. He says it was a little better for Black to develop the queen's knight through a6, but in this case, the queen's pawn would have become weak, causing difficulties for Black. It is interesting to note that Stockfish does not agree with Alekhine's assessment. For the engine, d5 is a good move, but Black could also have played queen e7. In this case, the game could have continued with bishop g5, h6, bishop takes knight, queen takes bishop, a3, rook d8, rook c1, knight c6, e3, and the position would be equal. Back to the game. After Black's d5, Alekhine plays knight d4, pinning the d5 pawn, since the b7 bishop is defenseless. White could also have played knight e5. In this case, the game could have continued with queen c7, defending the bishop, bishop f4, and knight from b to d7. Back to the game. Bogoljubov plays bishop takes on d4. Black captures the knight with the bishop, but what he wants most is to get rid of the very weak pawn on d5. With this bishop's move, Black also gives White the advantage of having the pair of bishops in an open position. As we will see in the course of the game, the pair of bishops will bring great superiority to White. Instead of bishop takes on d4, Black could also have played knight to c6. In this case, the game could have continued with knight takes on c6, Bishop takes on c6. Bishop g5. Bishop e7. Rook c1. And the position would be equal. Instead of bishop takes on d4, black could also have played pawn to h6, a continuation suggested by Stockfish. In this case, the game could have continued with knight c2, queen d7, c takes on d5, e takes on d5, b4. And, according to the engine, the position would be equal. The game continues with queen takes on d4, knight c6, queen h4, d takes on c4. Black expects white to take back the c4 pawn with the queen. After that, Bogoljubov intends to play knight e5, or knight a5, threatening the queen, and freeing the bishop with tempo. Alekhine plays rook d1, attacking the black queen. At the same time, white activates the rook, controls the queen's file, and thwart the continuation that Bogoljubov was hoping for. Black's response is queen c8. This is a forced move. If Bogoljubov had moved the queen to e7, the game could have continued with bishop g5, h6, bishop takes on f6, queen takes on f6, queen takes queen, g takes on f6, rook d7, and white would have won the bishop and the knight for the rook. Let's continue the game. Bishop g5, knight d5. With this knight move, Bogoljubov hopes to trade bishops within a few moves. If, instead of knight d5, he played knight d7, white would respond with knight e4, then threaten to move the knight to d6, or f6, and have a strong attack. A suggestion from Stockfish for the blacks is knight e8, which would defend the d6 and f6 squares. Back to the game. White plays knight takes knight, e takes on d5, rook takes on d5. Unexpectedly perhaps, Alekhine captures the pawn with the rook. White's move seems to be a mistake. If I were white, I think I would have taken the pawn with the bishop. Would you have taken with the bishop too? Now, if black moves the knight from c6, white's rook will be exposed to an attack from the bishop, and, after the rook moves, the bishops can be exchanged as Bogoljubov wishes. Black plays knight b4, attacking the white rook as predicted. And here we come to the most interesting position of the game. Would you move the rook from d5? What do you think is the best move for white? Did you like this game so far? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want notifications of more content like this, please subscribe to this channel. I shall narrate this game's conclusion in the next video. Thank you, and see you again in part 2. Goodbye.